Hello everybody and welcome to a JK Running Productions video. If you guys are new here to this channel, I'm a Division 3 runner, and on this channel I post my races, my workouts, my runs. So if you're interested in seeing any of those types of videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. But with that guys, so today's video we're going to recap my cross country season, and to do that I'm going to be watching the race montages I created and all the race vlogs this season, give you guys my thoughts about what was going on, was I happy with the race. So with that everybody though, we're gonna start with the first meet. So the first meet, the gun goes off. Honestly, I was really nervous for this race. I think I got out towards the back, or I was in the back, but I was just trying to kind of stick with some teammates and just kind of see what happens. I had a rough summer going into this race, and I really hadn't put together too many continuous runs with the sickness I was dealing with. So I just went out there and I wanted to see what I could do, and I started picking up some of my teammates towards the end, and once it got to like the last 400 I tried to surprise my teammate, but as you can see he got me at the line. Just didn't quite have it on the day. The demon kick, as I like to call it, my kick, did not end up winning that race. So now let's move on to the second race. Second race, my teammate Xander, he went out super hot like he always does. He always goes out quick. It's just a part of his racing strategy. And with this race, this meet was a lot smaller than it was last year. Last year, this was the course that D3 regionals, or the regional meet, was on. So we had a lot of WEAC schools here, but it wasn't the case this year. And this first mile, really the first mile isn't that bad. Overall, the course is kind of like somewhat flat, but there are some hill sections. It does feel like an actual cross-country course because there is some wooded sections, as you can see from the race footage. And this race was probably the best cross race I had this whole year. I felt so much stronger than I had in previous years, and I ended up having a really good finish, as you can see with my teammate. But really, that was the best race I would say I had, and I knew I was far and away ahead of where I was last year, and I felt much better at points in the race than I felt last year. So I was taking some confidence from that race, and we moved on to the third meet of the season. And leading into this third meet, I had a really big exam that I was studying for, so my legs were not rested. I did not get as much sleep as I should have, and really outside of the first 200, 400, I really didn't feel great at all. But it was like, I just got to go out there, I got to race, and whatever the result is, it is. I just got to know what I was dealing with and just try and keep it going. And really, this race was a pretty local race because there were some of my, this is right in our backyard, this is only 20 minutes away from our campus. So it was nice to race close to campus, not a long bus ride, and some of my friends from college were there, so it was cool seeing them, and they were cheering for me pretty good. And I just really, even though I wasn't feeling good, I tried to pick some people off and still have a good finish, as you can see. Just try and keep it going, and that's what I did. The result was like 29:47, not a great result by any means, but I was happy with the result considering in previous years I probably would have ran like 30:45 after what I was dealing with, and this year I ran 29:47. So now moving on from that meet to the lacrosse meet, this is honestly the quickest course we run on by far this whole year, I would say. Even though there's some rolling hills section in the middle 3 miles, it is still fairly quick. So really, there isn't a ton of race footage from this meet, but I wasn't feeling great at all during this race. Honestly, I had very terrible workouts leading into this race. It was abysmal the times I was putting in these rep times. So really, in that race, that was just go out there, race, whatever the time is, it is. And I actually surprised myself with how quick I was running. I ran almost 3 seconds or 5 seconds close to what I did last year. So I was happy with the result, even considering my sickness, but it just made me feel like I could have ran, if I wasn't sick, I could have ran like 28:30s. My teammate, he had a breakthrough race, and I was training with him, or trying to train with him for most of the year, and he just had a breakthrough race there, and it kind of got me thinking, maybe I can run that quicker. I should have been up there with him. So now moving on after that race, we move on to the conference race, and this is probably my second best race of the year. I felt pretty strong throughout this race overall, but really the race spread out so quickly. As you can see, I'm pretty close, or it's pretty bunched up within like the first mile, I would say. But outside of that, really the first mile, there was long stretches where I was not seeing anybody, which that sucked, but I mean, I still had to just go out there and execute and run my race. The motivation I was getting motivation from my teammates. Also, it was conference, getting energy from that. And then there's just one team I just absolutely hate in our conference, and I was just trying to beat every single guy I could from there. Even considering like how far away I was from anybody else, I still caught some people. I was not the last person in the race, and I hawked somebody down the last 200, 400 of the race. I'm kind of not proud of it, but I got the good lean on him, and I got him, and I ran my second best time of the year of 29:02. Overall, that was a solid race, and that's the end of the race footage. Overall, my thoughts about this season is really, I feel like I left a lot on the table. I was coughing up a lot of crap from my lungs in runs, workouts, you name it. It was a rough season, and I was not healthy. And I really wanted this season to be way better than what it turned out. Really my only goal going into this season was to run a PR, and I did that. But it also made me think that, what if I wasn't sick? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what this off season was trying to figure out. I went to this different doctor, and she gave me some supplements that I think are making a big difference. And you guys will see a video coming up that's super special, where I came in with a very ambitious goal, I thought, and I almost ran that ambitious goal, which is something that I feel like I haven't done in a while. There's been times where there's just been teammates that have been ahead of me, and maybe I've just mentally just quit before the race even started, or midway through the race even started, that I can't do this. And I want to change that starting with this track season. So with that, guys, though, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There's going to be a new series on this channel detailing the track season, the lead up to the track season. You don't want to miss that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Strava. Join the JK Running Productions Strava Club. But with that, guys, though, I'm going to sign off like I always do. The grind never stops.